Okay, so today I want to talk about living life with no regrets. Like I said in my previous video, you got to do what makes you happy and not worry about what makes other people happy. At the end of the day, you only need to satisfy yourself. If you're not leaving young children behind or people aren't depending on you, you got to do you and enjoy your short time on this beautiful planet. There is no do-overs, no rewinds, and no take-backs. At the end of the day, you have one life to live, and how many healthy years do you really have? A lot of people aren't feeling their best by the time they reach into their 60s, depending on your genetics and what you've done in your life. So, what do you got? 40 good years, 50 good years at very best, from 18 till the point where you perhaps don't want to do 10-mile hikes down the beach like I'm doing every day. So your 40s is essentially your prime, and I'll tell you why. You've made enough money and you have enough knowledge to where you can really move around, and you have a couple bucks hopefully saved, and you've learned from your 20s and 30s, yet your physical limitations aren't really there yet for most people. If you're in shape, or you're not heavy, or you haven't abused yourself, or smoked 10 packs of cigarettes a day, or stuff like that. So that's really your prime, in my personal opinion. So that's why it's good to do an early retirement or an early semi-retirement, or be a digital nomad in your 40s and travel to all the white sand beaches and the blue water beaches, or wherever. If you want to go to the jungles in Africa, or you want to go to beaches that aren't blue, or whatever. But that's the time to really do your thing, because the way I'm looking at it right now in my mid 40s, taking this step, is I got 20-30 years of bliss, rather than doing this at 66 and not even have the energy to walk a mile down the beach, let alone to walk 20 miles a day or 10 miles a day. It's like you're just not there. You're gonna barely want to get out of bed, more than likely. I mean, there is exceptions like my father, who's 79, who could probably do this, but for the most part, most of my buddies' dads, by the time they were 66, they could barely get out of bed. So yeah, at the end of the day, you got to seize the moment. There is no takebacks, no rewinds. Don't worry about what your parents think. Don't worry about what your sister thinks. Don't worry about what your uncle thinks. Don't worry about what your ex-girlfriend thinks. It doesn't matter. None of their opinions really matter in the end. It just simply doesn't matter. Nobody cares. It's your life. You need to make yourself happy and make sure you enjoy every single day. The concept of working until you're 66 and then properly retiring is moronic, unless you have children and you weren't a big earner in your 30s or 40s and you have to set them up. But that concept is dumb. That's silly. Why would you do that? Why would you work, eat, sleep, repeat, and be miserable for the most part, when if you have a couple of dollars and you can go to an area where the money conversion swings in your favor, or you can earn, say, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 American, you'd be a moron not to mess around. You'd be a moron to not go with that and just do what makes sense for you, as far as the money conversion, the climate, the women, whatever it is that you see attractive about a Thailand, a Philippines, a Malaysia, a Mexico, whatever. How stupid could you possibly be to not seize that opportunity? Honestly. I mean, you can go on a vacation like I did and just see if you like it. You don't have to commit to staying there for the rest of your life. But at the end of the day, you gotta do what makes you happy, and you have to stop worrying about what other people think. When you're 70, laying in your deathbed, having had a boring life in Ohio in your one-bedroom apartment, what is it gonna matter what your sister or your aunt thought? Who cares what anyone thinks? You know what you're doing, As long as you're not hurting anyone or doing anything illegal or abandoning young children, do your thing, man. Enjoy yourself. Go island hopping. Go move to anywhere that you want to go to. Just enjoy life. Every day you wake up is a gift and is a precious gift. And every day that you have your health to be able to go walk 10 miles of white sand beach is a gift. There is no getting your time back. Time is the most precious commodity. You could have all the money in the world, but you will not get your time back. I remember my grandmother was filthy, filthy, filthy rich, but I could sense envy in her when I was in my 20s because she knew that I had time. She knew that I had time and that she didn't. You can have $20 million, but if you're 75 years old, you're 75 years old. Perhaps you have another 25 years if the world is generous to you. If you're in your 20s, you might have another 75 years. So I could sense that envy because time is the only commodity that we don't get back. That's the only thing that you can't get back. You can always replace money. You can always make more money. But when you're 80, you're 80. When you're 90, you're 90. It's just the way life works. So at the end of the day, choose your time wisely and don't work yourself to death for no reason. If you have no dependents, no next of kin, no one to leave all your money to, you don't really need that much. For me personally, I need food and a roof over my head and to be able to take care of myself if I get sick. Outside of that, I'm straight. I don't need a car. I don't care about all that lavish stuff I had before. I have a Mercedes S550 in the United States. I had every big screen TV and leather couch and king size everything, you know, every fancy desks and nonsense furniture and jewelry and designer clothes. I don't give a damn about any of that. Look at this. This is what I care about. Right there.